6:03. We'll call the January 23rd meeting of the Parker Water Board to order. We've got Jared Mann from staff. We've got Jan Roach from staff, Rebecca Tejada from staff, Steve Hellman from staff, Deb Deshansky from staff, and Ron Redd, our manager from staff, as well as Jeff Parker, our district attorney. From the board, we've got Bill Wasserman, myself, Merlin Klotz. We've got Don Langley and Robert Kanaa, and we're trying to get connection with Brooke Booth. So she'll be on shortly.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any unscheduled items of public interest? Seeing none, do we have any changes or additions to the agenda?
We have none.
From the board?
No.
None from the board. Do we have any board comments?
I have a comment. Earlier this week, Ron Redd and I were on a Zoom meeting with two professors from Grand Valley State University in Michigan, which is my alma mater 100 years ago. For the last, 2 years ago, Grand Valley had a group of students that came out west to learn about water. In Michigan, you're never 10 miles from a stream, a lake, a river, or a Great Lake. So water supply is not an issue. There's other water issues there, of course. But anyways, they decided 2 years ago to come out west to learn about the water situation out west and get some ideas of some of the things that we go through in other entities. So last year, I learned about this in an alumni magazine, and so I reached out to the professor to see if they would want to come. Well, last year, for whatever reason, the program got canceled, but this year they're going to be doing it again, and there's going to be 20 students coming out, along with 2 professors and a teaching assistant. And it's a 3-week trip, but they're going to come, will be probably their first stop in May 12th, I think is when we're going to have them. They'll spend probably a half a day here. We're going to show them the reservoir, take them through our sewage treatment plant, and some other fun things that we might do, and then they'll go on into Utah and some other states and learn more about it. But I think this is a good opportunity for us as we keep talking about expanding from regional even into national, and this gives us an opportunity to do that. And on top of that, it'll give these students a chance to really learn about what a Western water district does and the things and challenges. So anyways, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and looking forward to it.
Robert, Don? Brooke, if you're on?
Yeah, I'm on. So I just wanted to thank James for taking my daughter and I, and Ron for setting it up on a tour last week. It was amazing and super exciting to see everything.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome.
Okay. Leadership team comments.
Okay, I'll start us off. So we did put more water into the reservoir. It's not a lot, but 62 more acre feet of water, about an inch in height or depth. And what's going to change over the next month is the water treatment plant's back online. So we started taking water out of the reservoir. Oh. Sorry, well, there we go. I don't think that was me. But the good news is we're at about 27,000 acre feet. And just to remind the board, the highest we've ever been, this 2015, was just below 30,000 acre feet. So this is really good. But once the water treatment plant kicks in, we'll probably start seeing a deficit unless the weather, we get more moisture with the winter. But so it's been a good winter so far. Next, thank you. Just a couple announcements. The next Wednesday, we have Representative Boebert showing up she wanted to know who we are, who we serve, and what we do. And then I know she had mentioned earlier a tour of the reservoir. So we're going to approach this like we did with Senator Bennett. Joe from the Lower South Platte Conservancy District will be here. We'll probably get Jim Yon as well. Joe's going to have a couple board members. It's during Water Congress, so everyone's here. Normally, Representative Boebert is at Water Congress, so she's probably coming down to see us while she's here. And we're just going to do what we did with Senator Bennett and do a tour. You're all invited, of course, and I got feedback from a few. And so it starts at 10:30 next Wednesday. So we're looking forward to that. We have spoken with all the other representatives in Douglas County and some that are outside of Douglas County, so it'd be good to get her up to speed as well. So we got that coming. And then Jeff's been good about keeping the board up to date. We have these 3 homes that were built outside of our district, but are served by the district. This happened when Canterbury was built, so I think it's 30 years ago. And so, and we have a plan moving forward. In our minds, we're going to, we got to work with the board, but we think there's going to be an out-of-service charge, or they can leave it up to them. And we'll work through that. It'll take probably the first half of 2025 to get there. But I wanted to let you know, I'm going to reach out to them and just make sure they're aware. They're probably fully aware that they have never paid a sales tax to Parker. But I want to let them know what we're doing, especially with an election coming. We want them to understand that they're technically not in our district, but for whatever reason, they were connected. And so we'll just make sure they're aware of that. And then 2025, we'll rectify the problem. So we had talked earlier about including them for free, no cost whatsoever. Of course, then they start paying property tax. Or if they choose to stay out of our district, we're fine with that as well. But there'll be some type of out-of-service charge to make it equal to what our other customers are paying. So we'll reach out to them and just let them know what's going on. And with that, I will turn it over to James.
Okay, good evening. Before we get started, this is the week for pictures, my favorite board meeting of the month. So before we get started, though, I wanted to let you know that CDPH&E laboratory has been closed due to an investigation that they're doing. I think it's been on the news, but they are no longer doing some of the chemistries at their laboratory due to some irregularities that have been found. So on their door, they have listed the alternate laboratories that their customers can go to. So Parker Water is listed as one of the alternate laboratories. And just to let the board know, we have our first customer that has come to Parker Water from this unfortunate event that's happened at the State Health Department. So Parker Water is now serving one additional outside customer. Recently, we've had, of course, you've noticed very cold weather. This year, we've had 3 call-outs due to the cold snap. Last year, we had 15. So what I wanted to talk to you tonight about was these 3 pictures. What this is a really good story. So it's going to take me a couple minutes to kind of give you the background on this. So this occurred 6:30 in the morning on Sunday, the 26th. Tim Ryan, our operator, responded to a customer that had no water at their home. After looking around, a thorough investigation, he confirmed that the meter pit was damaged and the meter was frozen from exposure. Tim contacted field services to dispatch a technician. But before that, Tim went above and beyond by going to Home Depot to purchase a heat lamp. And the heat gun wasn't working, and Tim had other systems to respond to thaw the pit and restore water to the customer immediately. Unfortunately, the bottom of the meter was leaking, and that's when he communicated this to Alfonso. Alfonso is one of the technicians in field services who decided it was best to respond due to the severe concerns, including the risk of pipes freezing from exposure and the dangers of electricity and water mixing together. Alfonso arrived on site in the afternoon and immediately assessed the situation. Demonstrating exceptional dedication, Alfonso dug out the damaged pit despite the challenging snow and packed frozen ground, which took about 3 hours to complete. So you can see him in the weather gear out there, but he went out there and dug out this meter pit in the very cold weather. So he was able to replace this efficiently and safely. And they took the time to explain the situation to the customer, ensuring they understood the steps that were being taken and felt reassured. By the end of the day, the customer was highly satisfied with our professionalism and quality of service provided. So I wanted to share that story with you about the caliber of people that work for Parker Water, that went out and spent hours out in the cold to make sure our customers got their water restored. And then I have some pictures of folks around. So this picture on the left happened to be this. This is not a mirror or anything like that. They actually both had the same flannel shirt on after one of our all-staff meetings. That's Robert and Guy that got caught by the camera. And then on the right, that's a couple of our operators getting ready to clean out one of the chambers at the water plant for startup that happened on Sunday. So starting tomorrow, the water plant will be providing all the water at Parker Water and Sanitation District for a few days as we're going through some testing. But so you'll get to see, so wherever you live in Parker, you're going to get Parker Water and Sanitation water plant water. And there's a picture on the left, that's Kendall. She's one of the operators at the water plant. And those are the crates that we use to ship the membranes as they're going back to Japan or coming from Japan or wherever they happen to be going. And the picture on the right is the lead operator at the water plant. Here's a picture of to give you an idea, I know most of you have toured the plant, but this gives you kind of an idea how deep some of these chambers are within the water plant. So in this one, they're getting ready to bring this mixer back online, and they're doing some maintenance and repairs to it. But you can see how deep these actually are. And this is our new Arapahoe well being drilled out at Stroh Ranch at Badger Gulch. Just a quick picture. Somebody actually from the laboratory took this picture when they were out there in Ridgegate, getting samples for the engineering department. And this is a picture of the biofilter at the north plant with all of the media removed and the underdrain system being reassembled. So this was part of the odor control system at the north plant, and we had to take all the media out, which was about 20 piles of media, probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet high, and they had to be sifted, and I got a couple of pictures in here to show you. But we did this, this work is being done internally, and they're reassembling the biotower with new media to try to get the odor situation up there taken care of. So these units, as you, I don't know if I can, if you look right here, you see little X's. So that's where the air actually comes out, and it travels through the media, and the media has a certain type of bacteria that grows on it that feeds off of the gases that are produced in the process, and that's how the odors are reduced and removed at the wastewater plant. So those were actually plugged, and so there was a big differential between a pressure differential between those before and after, and now that they've fixed it, it's down to like 0.5 psi, so it's much better. And that is the unit that they rented to actually work with this media. So they had to shake all this media, had to go through a sifter and put the larger ones back in and dispose of the fines that were actually plugging those vents in the unit. And our district services department worked through the snow and the cold to get this done as quickly as possible, because as you can see, those homes right across the fence were impacted by the odors. That's it. Thank you.
Great, thank you. This on? There we go. I would like to point out that Guy and Robert aren't the only ones who dress the same. I don't know if you've realized I'm bookended by matching outfits as well. I wanted to do just a quick update on the Platte Valley project. I wanted to start by thanking you for the approval of the owner's agent contract with Jacobs. They have been instrumental in progressing this project. Between Jacobs and Heather, this is really one of the most effective and productive project teams that I've been a part of. They've really moved this along. And honestly, truly, hiring Heather was one of the best decisions I've made in my career. She's been a blessing to this program. So to date, as part of their scope of work, we've had 2 really successful workshops as part of this project. The first one was the legal and permitting, and although it may not sound fun, the workshop itself was really interesting, and it absolutely set the stage for successfully navigating the permitting gauntlet that is between where we are now and getting this project designed and constructed. So it was a really great workshop. And then just yesterday, we had our second workshop called System Configuration. It was also a really positive workshop. We talked through the different ways to integrate Castle Rock, who is now a project partner on this, as well as other potential future partners, the ways that we can actually configure the system, phase things in. Again, a really successful workshop, which just continues to progress the project forward. The next workshops that we have that I'm excited about, it's called the Fresh Eyes Workshop, and that's scheduled for March 10th. This is an opportunity where we invite other consultants, other engineers, other experts to actually walk through the project with them and get a fresh set of eyes on it. Again, I've been working on this since about 2017, so sometimes I get stuck in my ways, and so bringing in these other folks. And coincidentally, there's someone in the audience who's actually invited to this workshop. I didn't know he was going to be here, but Dan Kugler is with Black & Veatch. He's not on the Platte Valley team, but he is an expert. He's a solid engineer and has helped the district in the past. And so a great opportunity to walk through the project with folks like that so they can see it, bring ideas that we may not have thought of, and really just get a better understanding of this project. And then the last workshop is the Partnership Governance Workshop. And this is an absolutely critical thing that the project will need. It gets us set up for how this project will be constructed and how it will be operated in the future. A well-defined governance really sets the stage for a successful project. Leadership can come and go, and the same mindset isn't always there for different leaders. But when you establish that governance, it really just defines and codifies that philosophy of the project. So this is a really exciting time for this, and I just wanted to thank you for all the support that you've given for the Platte Valley Water Partnership.
Hey, everybody. Make sure this is on. Just two quick things for an update. I wanted to point out also in the audience tonight is Mike Barrows. He's on our audit committee, so he decided to come tonight and just hear what's going on. And secondly, talking about the audit, Plant Moran will be on site beginning next Monday for a week to do their preliminary audit work for 2024. So that's everything I had.
I don't need that, thank you. I have a couple of real quick items. Just wanted to give you a short update on the water treatment plant membrane filter issues we're having. There are a number of different analyses underway as to what's causing the elements to fail. We got some information back from Metawater today. Pretty short email. It's going to require some more work. We've now ordered 100 new membranes that are going to be coming hopefully within time for the summer increased demand. And we are discussing warranty coverage with Kruger for covering the membranes. There's going to be some discussions to happen. We also had mentioned before we hired outside counsel who specializes in construction defect issues, and he's looking at all of our options, and I've been talking to him about that as well. So more information to come with more of these analyses, but our consultants are thinking they have an idea about the cause, and they're still working to confirm that. So, Platte Valley Water Partnership, Rebecca kind of explained most of it, but I also want to mention that sort of heading into looking at the NEPA permitting issues, and we've also hired another outside legal counsel. I don't specialize in that kind of work either, who specializes in federal regulations and federal permitting, and he's worked with Jacobs in the past on NEPA permitting issues, and so he's just come on board. We're going to probably start in a week or so and help sort of walk through the permitting issues and make sure that we're seeing all the pitfalls and all the ways to make it as simple as possible.
Jeff, what does NEPA stand for?
Oh, my goodness. National Environmental.
Protection Agency, is that?
No, I can't believe I don't know. Is that right? Act?
Yeah.
I'm going to get you the exact. I
think
know
that's
this. National Environmental Policy Act. Yeah.
So what does that mean for, what are we what is the ramification?
Well, the real issue under NEPA is what's called an EIS, Environmental Impact Study. And so what do you have to do to prove that this project is going to satisfy all the environmental issues and basically be a project that's worth doing without too many adverse environmental impacts? So it can be a daunting process to go through. It can take a lot of work, but that's the big permit. There's other permits we're going to need to get as well, but that's kind of the main one.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Should have had that
Don,
acronym memorized.
Donnie's question.
Yeah, I want to circle back to the water purification plant.
Yeah.
First of all, you said we're ordering 100 new membranes. I assume we're ordering those from Metawater?
Yeah, so we had an option of getting them from Kruger or from Metawater. And Metawater was actually less than Kruger. And we have a different warranty from Metawater that, although there's issues with it, we think it's better than the Kruger offer.
Yeah, but until there's some resolution on the warranty or guarantee issues, I assume we had to issue a purchase order for these?
Yeah, we're buying them straight out. And then
Yeah, they're
Kruger
like
has,
$5,000 a piece, I think was the number.
yeah, I think it was like $4,750. Is that right? Yeah.
So it's $500,000.
Yep. Yeah, it's not cheap.
Just to get them here and in a crate, so there'll be our cost to get them all installed and stuff.
Right, yeah, and so, I mean, without getting into too many legal details in a public meeting, I mean, we believe these are subject to the warranty.
All right. Well, those obviously aren't going to be installed before you start running the plant tomorrow, right?
You got to get them first.
So obviously you have enough working membranes that you feel comfortable doing this test. And are you also planning, I mean, your operators had a lot of things they wanted to test out as far as how to operate the system. Is that going to happen in the next couple of days as well?
It's starting, but they're doing a lot of the testing is ongoing. We're waiting for some equipment to arrive, but the demand allows us to operate the plant.
Yeah,
and
so
meet-
what do you expect the demand to be?
Well, tomorrow, I think we're running about 2.5, 3 million gallons.
Okay.
Plus, we have what's in the tanks, but
Yeah.
that's what we're
So that's like
anticipating.
30% of the plant capacity.
It's idling. It's usually just about as low as it can go, but it's
Yeah,
it's
okay.
right now that's all that's needed.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good evening. I am quite pleased to start up our annual legislative updates for you this evening. In front of you, you do have a General Assembly leadership and committee assignments handout. As of right now, this is accurate. It will change, and I will keep you updated. There are a few vacancies still that need to be filled, but I thought that would be a good reference for you. There are really only two bills to talk about tonight. The first one is House Bill 251077, and that has to do with backflow prevention. As you recall, last year, there was legislation that changed the requirements for backflow testing and repair. And it was an extremely controversial bill, and there was a lot of pushback. And so as a result, this bill reverses what that bill had put into place. Basically takes us back to the way it was before, where certified technicians can test and repair backflow devices. Licensed plumbers still have to install and remove those devices. Our position on this bill is to monitor it, even though we are in favor of it. They've already added one amendment to this bill, and we want to just monitor it to make sure that they don't add things that are going to drastically change the bill. The one amendment so far really doesn't do much at all. All it does is it requires the tester to tag the device with his name, the company he works for or she, and their certification number. That's something that most testers do already. So this just makes it mandatory.
Will we still require that they fill out a data sheet that's filed with our customer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that won't change whatsoever?
Nothing will change
Yeah, okay.
with that. But just in case they decide to add some more amendments, we just want to monitor this bill. The other one is House Bill 251014, which increases the efficiency of the Division of Water Resources. Basically, what this bill does is it increases the time frame for well construction from 1 year to 2 years. It's a great start, but we would actually are going to ask our lobbyist to ask for an amendment to 3 years. The reason being is right now, the lead time for transformers and other high-end large electronics is 100 months. So if we get the permit and then get the equipment, we won't get the equipment for almost 2 years. So we can't do well in less than a month. So the 3-year time frame would be still within the permitting time, but it would be a little bit more reasonable.
Just to clarify, it feels like 100 months, but it's really 100 100 weeks. So
Oh,
essentially
sorry,
2
I'm so
years,
sorry. That was, sorry about that, thank you.
wondering, 'cause-
Thank you for that. Yes, 100 weeks, sorry about that. So that's what we're going to ask our lobbyists to bring to the legislature, feeling that that's a very reasonable amendment. And then the bill also does expedite the reinstatement of expired permits, so that's very good as well. And then upcoming bills, we're anticipating two that were on last year. The Cora data mining, it failed last year. They're going to try and reintroduce that one again and see if they can kind of curb the amount of data mining that's done through Cora requests. And then the Independent Ethics Commission that failed last year, they're going to bring that back to bring school boards and special district boards under the state's Independent Ethics Commission. Don't know if that one will gain any ground this year. The other thing to note is that they are expecting almost $1 billion shortfall in the budget. So any bills that are going to have a big fiscal note will probably not make it through the legislature this year. So the one that we were concerned with last year, having to do with the open meetings requirements for persons with disabilities, that one will probably fail again because the fiscal note on that was huge. And they may not even introduce that again this year. But we'll keep an eye on that, and we will keep you informed of that as well. So as always, if you have any other questions about any other bills or these bills, I'm happy to answer them for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that moves on to approval of the minutes of the January 9th meeting. Do we have any additions or corrections to that? Brooke, you still with us?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay. Okay. Seeing no corrections, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We have a vote?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Accounts payable. January 1st to 15th. Anybody have any unanswered questions on the payables list?
No.
Seeing none, do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Have a vote?
Yes.
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 Okay. Financials.
All right. Take care of covering the preliminary 2024, or December 2024 financials. Finals will come out when the audit is completed and we get the financial statements at that time. So we're at 57.1 million for operating revenues, which is 109% of the budget. Capital revenues are 35.6. This is only 87% of the budget. The main reason this is down is expected 2024 reimbursements for some infrastructure projects that we're doing, primarily the WISE pump station, thank you, across the way. We didn't get a lot of those, but we'll realize those in 2025. The operating expenditures were at 41.2, 96% of the budget, and so far $29.6 million spent on capital. As far as cash on hand, $70 million for operations and debt service, have about $105 million for the capital program and debt service. One of the reasons this is higher than we generally see is because the last couple years we've had more than anticipated tap fees that came through, and so it's higher. But we'll use this money to help support the $116 million 2025 budget that we have out there for the capital side of the equation. As far as reserved or restricted, just under 98 million, or 98 million there. A big portion of that is the Platte Valley construction deposits, and then of course debt service that we pay. So user fees were up 16% from 2023. That's 104% of the current 2024 budget. Billed water consumption was up 26%. Again, 2023 was a very, very wet year, and the billed water revenue is up 22% from '23. Operating revenues, 6.9 million up or 14%. We did 551 water SFEs and compared to 1,102 from 2023. Again, a big shift there from the amount of revenue we received. And currently, we're at 26,395 SFEs in total going there. And capital spending, again, 29.6 million. In 2024, we actually added 753 accounts in total were the new accounts. And operating expenses, while it is 95% of the 2024 budget, a lot of the invoices that come in January and actually part of February still get charged back to 2024. So we expect that to go up a little bit. Yes, sir.
How do you get more accounts than SFEs?
We get more accounts because we had some left over from 2023 that hadn't been put into the system yet or had a meter set. And so that's the reason you get more
Carryover
accounts.
kind of thing, yeah.
Timing,
Yeah,
that's what you're looking at.
thank you.
This is our billed water consumption. The one on the left gives you by month. The one on the right gives you the cumulative for the last 5 years. And if you look at the months of January, February, March, and also November, December, you can see how each and every year, the number of new accounts, new customers that come in are bumping up that consumption in those base months right there. We did bill in total 3.05 billion gallons of water in 2024. That is actually almost 9,400 acre feet of water that was actually sold to our customers in 2024. And that, compared to 2022, that's 3.8% higher than what we did in 2022.
Not to distract you, but do you know the production number?
The what
The
number?
production number, how much water was?
No, I do not know the production number for
Know
24.
that? Okay.
It was higher than that.
Probably 9, 10, 11% higher than consumption, right? Something like
Correct.
that.
As far as billed water revenue, the one on the left is by month for the last 5 years. The one on the right is total. This is up over 10% from the previous years, including 2022. Higher number of accounts and the rate increases that have incurred over the last 2 years. From the standpoint of system development fees, water's on the left, sewer's on the right. As far as total numbers, we had 551, as I said, water SFEs that were sold in 2024, and we had 444 sewer SFEs that were sold. And the difference there is irrigation. When we sell irrigation, there's no sewer accounts associated with irrigation accounts. Weather looks like, as far as temperatures, about seasonal for weather, but below normal expected precipitation in the Colorado region. So hopefully it won't be too dry of a winter coming up here. And that's everything for preliminary 2024.
So one thing that kind of struck me, you said that what we produced in terms of water was about a little over 9,000 acre feet. Is that correct?
What we sold.
Or sold, rather. And our build out, I thought was like 12 and a half, something in that.
No, it's build out, sorry.
I mean, at one time, it was 12 something is what we were looking at
For acre feet a year?
for the final build out of our water needs. I'm just wondering if we're.
When you say 12, are you talking 12?
12,000 acre feet or,
It's always been in the 18,000 range.
is that, all right. senior moment then.
Question?
Just on.
Yeah, Steve, you, in the operations summary, there was no 2024 transfer for rate-funded capital.
That's correct. We didn't get that completed yet. The staff is working on October 31st financials, so the auditors have time to do that, but we will get to that probably next week or the week after.
And that'll also be 4 million.
That will be 4 million and then post-date it back to 12/31.
Okay. It's just kind of a blank spot.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
sure.
Any other questions on financials? Seeing none? That moves on to Resolution 2024-02, approving a mail ballot election, second reading.
Okay, I don't know if the board would like a presentation, but this is setting the rules and the DEO, which would be myself, for the upcoming election. There's been no changes since our last reading.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second?
We got a second. Do we have a vote?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, there's Brooke.
Okay. That finishes everything on the agenda tonight.
One more.
Yes, sir.
Ron, you said you were going to talk a little bit about the survey that's going on.
Certainly, I actually sent an email out because we were getting questions quicker than we anticipated. So I think it was yesterday, Deirdre's been working with Magellan, I believe is who it is. And it's a customer survey. And this, if you recall, this is where we ask questions, but we provide information to put context to the questions. And it really centers around rates and conservation, Platte Valley, those type of major issues that we're working on. The way they do it is they do texting to our customers, and if that doesn't generate what they want, they can do emails. If they still don't get what they want, they can actually do phone calls. But we've had a tremendous turnout. I believe it's over 500 in the first day and a half, 2 days, so that's good. But what happens with text is people are really smart from a cybersecurity standpoint, so we started getting questions from our customers to verify it was legit, and it is. And in fact, one of the ladies that called in is now signed up for the Citizens Academy, so that was a great opportunity there. But we are getting comments, and we wanted our staff to know our customer service folks are prepared to help anyone through it. I thought it was important the board know that a text is going out. I know Director Booth got one. She gave it a 10 out of 10, so that's a good sign. But if you hear people asking, it is a legit survey, and it's going out. We're not sure how long it'll be open. I think they wanted to get 700 type of responses, so it may not be open all that much longer, but look forward to the information we get out of it.
Yeah, I got mine last night. It came as a text, so.
Good.
Did you fill it out?
Yeah, I'm a customer.
So we did our typical customer survey a few months ago. This will really give us a good idea what people think on many subjects, so.
Yeah, in an email to Ron, I mentioned that it really has kind of the hallmark of the Magellan Strategies approach. So I thought it looked really good. Really good.
Yep.
So when they're done, will we see, one, the questions, because not everybody's going to get a copy of this, and then obviously the results from the survey, I'm sure, will be coming.
Right, we could show you the questions anytime.
Yeah.
But
Hi. I do have the questions available if any of you would like to see them. But part of our contracted rate with Magellan is that they will be coming to do a full presentation to the board once they've gone through all of the data and have put it together for us. So you'll be seeing the results from them.
we've seen their work with other agencies, and it's just spectacular. And the cost was a lot less than we anticipated. I think we were budgeting at one time over 100,000, 150,000. I think this was in the 20,000 range. So but because they're not having to call people and do those labor-intensive type of approach, but I think we'll get good results. We're not doing an election like for property tax or anything like that, but they do a really good job predicting, based on their surveys, what category it will vote for a certain tax increase type of thing, and then after the election they go back and they compare their metrics, and they really come out close. It's amazing. They've turned this into a science. So we're looking forward to seeing what our customers think of us.
Do we know when that might happen or have an idea?
I do not, because they were not entirely sure how long this was going to take. We were going to have to be in the field, and then they'll need to go through the data. But they've been very quick on most stuff, so I would be surprised if we don't see it by March at the absolute latest.
Oh, okay, good.
Are we putting anything on our website so that if somebody gets this and is concerned, is this legit? Where it says on the website, Parker Water is conducting a survey, you may get a text message.
Yes, if you visit our homepage, there's an alert at the top of the website right now that says customer survey via text message. Yep.
Any other comments? Go ahead, Don.
No, I'm good.
You good? Okay. None. You've been quiet tonight. Okay. In that case, I think it's time to adjourn.